right, y'all. Here's I just be at home thinking about shit. So, I read an article today about the Anthropocene age, which is apparently this short brief of time in which humans, since like the Industrial Revolution, until our likely imminent demise of extinction. And the idea that, in a million years, there will not be any evidence that humans existed on the planet. It's an Atlantic article. It's interesting. For me, it's one of those things that I find right-sizing. Like, it makes me humble. Like, pumpkin, you're this, right? Like, you're that. You're not even that. You're the second between the sound. Like, in terms of my mattering in the course of the universe. And, right, that there still is the assumption and necessity that I do right by the steward of this planet while I am on it. It'd be like, I'm not going to be at somebody's house for a long time, so fuck it, I'm going to step on their couch. So no, that's not how you do being a decent guest. So as long as I'm on the planet, my assignment is to do my best to not destroy it, to not like just wreck it while I'm here. And I'm of the firm belief that our approach to the climate crisis is wrong. Our perspective is wrong. That we talk a lot about saving the planet and saving Mother Earth. And the reality is that, and this, article sort of affirms that, is that the planet will extinct us and begin again. That is likely, that's what happens. And then I just saw from my homie, Fabiana Rodriguez, who goes hard about really linking patriarchy and white supremacy and the climate crisis together. If you're not following Fabiana Rodriguez, you should do that on Instagram. And you should also support her. She's a brilliant artist. So she was just posting, she's at a retreat, and she was like, the sixth mass extinction is happening under our watch. And we have to do something about it. And here's where my conflict lies. So again, I'm going to go back to what I said before, which I think is important. We are guests on this planet. We've been invited here by whatever divine forces. We are guests. And you don't go to somebody's house and fuck up their house and then be like, oh, it don't matter. They moving anyway. No, right? And also, here's the thing that is fascinating to me that I'm sitting with right now is that I don't know if the appropriate response is to fight the idea of extinction. I think a couple of things. I think humans are so human-centric that we believe that a fate that has met 6 other times over the however many hundreds of millions of years the planet has existed, 6 other times it has had species on it and wiped them out. And so I think it's fascinating that we think, to me, it's part of the problem of a sort of humans domination mindset that somehow we believe that we should not meet what is obviously, from what I can tell, an intentional cycle of cleansing that the earth is on. Secondly, even if we fix the climate crisis, which I would love if we did, I think it's essential, right? I think that absolutely our time on here don't have to be as short as it's looking like it's going to be because we are absolutely speeding it up. Even if that were true, the reality is that what humanity has managed to do, if you just look around the world, outside of the climate crisis, which is inherently connected to this, but white supremacy, ableism, what we have done with domination, what we have done with capitalism, what we have done with just violations of human rights. Like yesterday, I read an article about the early 20th century in the South, where they lynched a man and his wife said she was going to fight for justice. And then they hung her upside down, burned her alive, and ripped open her womb and stomped her, preborn baby to death. That's the world we live in. And I'm going to put a content note on this before I post this, but that's the world we live in. And so I'm confused sometimes about the idea that somehow we should act as if extinction isn't a viable, reasonable response of the planet to us, whether we were, utterly destroying it or not. We are destroying humanity in that way. And so I do not say this to say that it is appropriate for us to, become nihilists or nihilists. I never know how to pronounce that. And, just rush our way towards extinction. But I do think that there are lots of reasons that we should consider whether or not, why is the goal to fight extinction, right? To stop the extinction of humans, or is the goal to be the most appropriate steward on this planet for as long as we have this planet, for as long as we are invited to be here, and to not trip should the planet decide it's done with its invitation and it's time for us to go. And so this quote from the Talmud is really, I keep coming back to it because it really is how I want to live my life. And it says, "Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it." That is the way in which I want to move through the world. That, to me, is a radical self-love praxis about how we be in right relationship with this gift that the planet has given us for as long as it decides to give it to us. Recognizing that we are not entitled to an endless reign on this here spinning rock. Thanks.